This is Boomer Life on CL650.
And welcome back to Boomer Life on CL650. I'm Joanne Sutton, and joined in studio today with Maria Howard, the CEO of the Alzheimer's Society of British Columbia. We also have our guest with us today. Jane Monroe has shared her stories of caregiving her husband who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And we also have David Herford in the studio. David is from Seg4, BC. And now we're going to continue this discussion about the future of dementia care with Dan Levitt. But before we get to Dan, we wanted to talk about a little bit of the fun side of the Alzheimer's Society and the fundraising and the upcoming event, which is the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. So Maria, just give us a little bit of background about this event.
The Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's is a great way to bring communities together to honor families who have been touched by dementia and Alzheimer's, and to bring together people to share stories, to raise awareness, and to raise, very much importantly, funds to support programs for families as well as support research. Typically, we've had the walk in January, which is Alzheimer's Month across Canada. This year, we are moving the walk to May 1st, and that is really because we are going to be having walks for Alzheimer's across the country at the same time to really heighten the importance of raising awareness for this really challenging journey.
So May 1st, we're going to mark it on our calendars. I've actually participated in this event in the past and do look forward to doing it again. So right now, we'd like to introduce our next guest is Dan Levitt. He's here to share his opinion on the future of dementia care and to talk a little bit about the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. So Dan joins us on the phone today. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We're great. We're glad to have you here as part of the show. Now, Dan is the Executive Director of Tabor Village in Abbotsford. You're also an adjunct professor in the gerontology department at Simon Fraser University, and additionally, you're on the board. You're a board member with the Alzheimer's Society of BC. Is there anything else that we should know about you?
I think that's plenty.
So tell us a little bit about how you first became involved with the Alzheimer's Society of BC. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I'll tell you what inspired me. I watched my grandmother take care of her dad, my great-grandfather, in a nursing home, an old traditional nursing home where he shared a room with 3 other strangers. And I really saw the journey that he and my grandma went on, and it really was something that I wanted to see change. And I thought, is there something I could do to make the lives of seniors better? So I entered the field of aging 25 years ago, and have really enjoyed working in the sector, and then I wanted to do something where I could kind of give back to people that had helped me so much. And so I talked to the Alzheimer's Society and found out about the Mount Kilimanjaro hike, the Ascent for Alzheimer's, and I did that in 2011, and I think you did it about 10 years earlier.
Yes, I did. So we have something in common.
Yeah, so I was following you in your footsteps, and our group raised $130,000 for the Alzheimer's Society.
Impressive.
And, and I think your group raised quite a bit as well, and each year there's been a team that's gone up. It really is a life-changing experience. Sure, climbing the mountain was incredible, but it was that team effort and doing something for such an important cause, and it really changed people's lives, and it helps to kind of rethink, reimagine what life can be like for older adults with dementia and to create a better world for them. And that's certainly been one of my personal goals in life is to help do that, and the Alzheimer's Society, I think, is really the right venue to have a voice in that direction.
Wow, Dan, you've given us so much to work with here. But I understand that you've actually written about the Dementia Village in the Netherlands, and we were mentioning that in the first segment of the show with Maria, and also about the Leonard Florence Centre for Living in Chelsea. Can you tell us a little bit more about these?
Sure. Now, both of these, along with some other sites that are around North America and really around the globe, there's a movement away from that old traditional nursing home that really is based on the hospital model, and the medical model doesn't work for older adults with dementia and Alzheimer's. They need something different, and nobody really wants to spend their last years of their life in a hospital, let alone a nursing home. So they're reinventing, reimagining, repurposing the whole idea, and they're making these communities into households. So imagine waking up in the morning and by a stranger in a hospital gown or hospital uniform and being taken out of bed, putting in a wheelchair, dressed, groomed, and rolled into the dining room for breakfast at 8 o'clock so you meet the government regulations. They're turning the whole thing upside down, and people now can get up when they want to, walk down or push themselves down to the dining room, and they eat around a big dining room table. They get to choose what they want, and if they don't want to have breakfast, they can sleep in. So it's called a household model, and both Dementia Village and the Leonard Florence Center, there's an organization in the States called Greenhouse that has started, and I visited the summer one in Australia that is really making people feel at home for their last years of life when they can no longer live independently in their own home.
I can hear the passion in your voice, Dan. You've got smiles all around the table here today. These writings that you've done on the Dementia Village, was that just for your medical research, or does the public have access to read any of that?
Yeah, I've been writing op-ed pieces for the Vancouver Sun, and there's lots been written on both of those places. In fact, I was just earlier this week at a conference in Boston, and the Leonard Florence Center was one of the main focuses of that conference. It's something really that the new model of dementia living should be looking at, and we don't have to go outside of the Lower Mainland for that. The Chorney Center, which the Alzheimer's Society was a part of, along with the Simon Fraser Gerontology Department and the very generous family in Surrey, they put together this phenomenal community where all seniors with dementia who need to live in an institution, if you will, that is the ideal setting. And I toured there a couple of weeks ago, and I was so impressed with the design and the kind of environment that they've created for people with dementia. It really should be the base standard. We should not be building hospital-style nursing homes any longer. It's a model that hasn't worked, and we need to rethink and reconfigure our design guidelines to really focus on choice and independence. Well,
choice is of absolute importance here, but how would you like to see the province move forward in this? Like, what can we do to help make these models come true in our province?
Well, it's interesting. So if you think about the number of baby boomers that are turning 65 every day, and you think about we're only a decade or so away from them needing supports to live independently, and it'll either be in their home or it'll be in a community. And if you think about the baby boomers, all the things that they changed throughout their lives, in particular, they changed the way the whole area around birth. They redefined birth. They're going to redefine death, and they're already doing it. And so we got to think about what are baby boomers, what's the boomer generation going to expect? Because they're not going to want the same place that my grandma lives in right now. They're going to want something completely different. So I think we should be doing, the first thing is tackling the issue of ageism. We should be creating age-friendly communities, dementia-friendly communities, and we should be talking about elderhood as being a third phase in life. We have childhood, adulthood, and elderhood. And here's my example about the shift, is there are more seniors now in Canada than there are people under 15 years of age. But yet there are 10 times the number of pediatricians as geriatricians. We haven't invested enough in seniors. And I think we can start to reprioritize government spending towards seniors, and especially around keeping them in their communities and building the kinds of places for them to live that truly honors their lives and gives them a place worth living.
I think Dan Levitt is our spearhead speaker for creating dementia-friendly communities. Dan, we need you for a whole show, but I know you only have a couple of more brief moments with us. Can you just give us a little bit of insight about this Walk for Alzheimer's, the event that's coming up May 1st, because I know you're involved with that.
It's one of my favorite days of the year. It's such an exciting thing to know that there's people walking across the province. Last year I got a chance to go to the event in Kelowna. Usually I've been going to the one in Stanley Park. And if you think about it, it's the biggest fundraiser that the Alzheimer's Society does. It's across Canada. Just in BC alone, in our province, there's 70,000 people who are living with the disease. And you think about the thousands of other people that are caring for them and the impact it's making on all of them. So it's really something that is an easy thing for us to participate in. And it's called the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. We want to make sure that the name of the disease is out there, because it's such a stigma for people. So we want to support them by making sure that we're talking about the stigma and talking about Alzheimer's as being something that is part of our society. And I love the motto, when you walk, you make memories matter. And we can honor those people who have passed from the disease, like my great-grandfather, and you can help ensure that those people who have the disease now are supported, just like my grandma and the people who live at Tabor Village and across the province with us. In 2014, 24,000 people participated. That's an incredible number across Canada. And those 24,000 people raised $4.5 million. That's a lot of money to support programs and services, and we've got to keep that momentum going. So it's really important that we encourage people to participate in this event, to if you can't walk, to donate, and you can volunteer. And really, I think we can make this the best year yet for the walk.
Okay, I think hands up. Who's going to walk this year? May 1st. That's great. Okay, there's 4 hands up in the studio right now. Dan, how do we sign up for this?
What you can do is you can contact the Society, and I will give you the website. The website for the Society is AlzheimerBC.org.
Yep.
That's Alzheimer with no S, BC.org. Or you can go on the website, or you can call the number 604-681-6530. 604-681-6530. And if you go on the website, you can find more information under the section News and Events.
Dan Levitt, thank you so much for your contributions today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, we'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thanks. Bye.
Maria Howard, what can you say about Dan Levitt? He raised some incredible points about future of dementia care, which was our main topic of discussion today. Any final words from you?
I think, I think that Dan raises a lot of excellent points about dementia villages and the future of dementia care. He also is such a great example of many of the volunteers who support our society, who are so passionate about making a difference. And we are so appreciative of people like Dan and the many other volunteers who are just really champions for the cause.
He's good. He's a good one to have on your board, isn't he?
He's a great one.
So Dan Levitt, thank you for his contributions today, as well as thanks to our many guests, Jane Monroe, and your award-winning book of poems, Blue Sonoma. We have Dave Herford from Seg4 BC, and also Maria Howard, the CEO from the Alzheimer's Society of BC. If you have any questions about this show or about dementia or any questions for the Society, please give them a phone call, or you can always visit their website. They are here to help. It's www.alzheimerbc.org. Don't forget to put May 1st in your calendar as well for the Investors Group Walk for Alzheimer's. I'm Joanne Sutton. Thanks for sharing this hour with us on Boomer Life on CL 650.